Another example of brilliant open genderedness in TV is RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, RuPaul's Drag Race is often transgendered contestants or males that dress in drag for prizes. So it's sort of a competition game show. A lot of people actually have seen it as a negative in terms of gender because it only shows a dichotomous portrayal. It either shows the highly feminized female or the overly butch female, which is more of a masculine trait, but there seems to be a little bit of a breakdown there. Some statistics I found online show that a lot of people are almost in revolt over it in terms of portraying gender. Now, again, as I said about Disney, a lot of movies don't often portray gender because their goal is the high dollar amount, so they can't really tackle such a touchy subject. The 2018 movie Love, Simon is a heartfelt coming out story where Simon, a high school teen, is blackmailed into gender labels. It's got some comedy aspects, so it did perform well overall, but the key thing is that the comedy helps us to influence and understand the openness that is coming out. Often we see gay characters or LGBTQ characters now portrayed as almost comedic because they need that sort of relief in terms of understanding them. So social media is a huge influence too that we often don't think about. That includes things like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and other media outlets like that. So Instagram is huge. I don't know if you guys are on Instagram, but I recently joined Instagram and it's kind of crazy. Basically, you just scroll through pictures and just get bombarded with information left and right. Either it's a video, an image, something of that nature, or even ads. Sometimes the ads target specific genders too, based on your recent search history and things like that. Well, you follow these individuals and you watch their photos and their stories and things like that, and a couple of the big top influencers I would say would be James Charles, who is a homosexual white male who started out doing makeup tutorials on YouTube, which is another form of social media. And he has 15.9 million followers. And he actually just, again, had meager beginnings in Albany, New York as just a makeup artist, but is now the first male CoverGirl model. So that's a huge step forward for gender. So when we see that you can be successful, that there is a huge following for that as well. Another huge Instagram influencer would be Lady Gaga, who's also a musician, but she uses her social media to spread acceptance and love, such as her song Born This Way, which is basically now an anthem of acceptance, both inside gender and outside genders, also self and towards others. Lady Gaga taunts a 38.2 million follower holding, so she definitely has some reach. The last I had checked, our president didn't have that many followers, so it's pretty interesting to see who's really holding the top spots. Another huge media outlet in terms of social media is Facebook, and Facebook has definitely been in and out of all media for goods and bads. You see a lot of different things there, but one of the things that Facebook themselves, instead of just an individual on Facebook, has caught a little flag for is they have a gender checkbox, which is kind of like, you know, when you fill out a survey or something, they usually ask you your race, and you really don't have to put it in there. You can just say, I choose not to answer. Well, that wasn't an option in this gender checkbox for a while. And what it basically became was a forced outing. If you had to choose a gender on Facebook for all your friends and followers to look at, to see, to know, especially if you hadn't been out yet, or you either had to lie and choose something that you didn't really identify with. So it's kind of unfortunate to see that that wasn't an option, but it has been corrected now due to the media outcry. So we do have an influence on media itself. We see a lot of this gender socialization, though. That's really the key with media, is that we learn gender by experience gender. Often it's learned at a young age, but this sort of secondary socialization of gender can be huge as well. So from TV, music, movies, and all our social interactions daily, we seem to learn a lot about each other, and that's helping us learn about ourselves. So it's definitely some food for thought. Let me know what you guys think. If you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I'm up for a good discussion on it if you guys have some key points or have anything interesting. So thanks again.